Hi, I'm Judith from hisunmeasuredgrace.com, where I help women and encourage them to have hope and grace in their mom life. And today I'm giving you a little morning devotion, or for whatever time of day it is for you, on Genesis 39. I'm not going into the whole thing, so please go back and read it. It's about where Joseph was working for Potiphar. He had been bought into slavery by Potiphar. You know, remember when he was put into the pit by his brothers and his brothers were going to kill him? And then they decided, hey, wait, here's some Ishmaelite traders that are on camels going down to Egypt, and we'll sell them and that'll be safer. So it was almost the same as if he murdered him because they never told their dad that he wasn't murdered or killed by animals. They brought back his coat of many colors just splattered with blood. So they let him believe that for years. So here Joseph is down in Egypt working for Potiphar and serving him as a servant or slave. And everything Joseph did was prosperous and prospered Potiphar's household. And Potiphar realized where this was all coming from, that it was coming from the Lord. So I don't completely understand why Potiphar ended up believing the lies of his wife. But often that happens. So, what happened is that Joseph was a very handsome man, and Potiphar's wife became attracted to him, and day after day tried to play in on that and trying to tempt him. And Joseph was a godly man and was like, no, I will not do that. And finally one day, Joseph went into the house and there were none of the other servants or people in the house. And she grabbed a hold of that situation and grabbed onto him and was like, please, make love to me, however she put it. And he fled from that temptation and left his coat or garment with her. So she had that opportunity that she had this in her hand as proof of Joseph doing an awful thing that even in that society was not allowed and not encouraged. That Joseph had come upon her and, fill in the blanks. So anyway, here he was. Potiphar got him thrown into jail, and here he is in jail, and the worst thing had happened to him. And it says in Genesis 39:21, it says, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And again, Joseph was allowed to watch over the prisoners, and the prison keeper had no worries that anything would go wrong with Joseph in charge. But then after I read that this morning, I went over and read Psalm 44. And in that psalm, the psalmist, it didn't say who it was like crying out to the Lord, like, where are you? And you've deserted me. And that isn't really true. But there are times in our life where things happen to us where we think that and believe that. So these are the last 3 or 4 verses that I'm going to read. And to me, this psalm kind of made me think maybe this is what Joseph went through in prison. And we all can go through bad experiences and bad situations in our lives where we go through a similar thing as Joseph went through. So these verses are like summing up that psalm, and you'll see how it ends and why I was thinking that this may have been the way the Lord encouraged Joseph as well as the psalmist, and can also encourage you. So it says, awake. Why are you sleeping, O Lord? Like, the Lord doesn't sleep, but you know how we feel like that sometimes. Rouse yourself. Do not reject us forever. Why do you hide your face? Why do you forget our affliction and oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust. Our belly clings to the ground. Rise up. Come to our help. Redeem us for the sake of your steadfast love. And that's from Psalm 44, 23 to 26. And again, God is saying, the psalmist is saying to God, redeem us for the sake of your steadfast love. So even though he's saying that, Lord, you must be sleeping, he believes that he still has steadfast love for him. And he's calling on the Lord to give him steadfast love. And I can just imagine Joseph in prison saying the same thing to God and praying the same thing. So I just wanted to quickly come and encourage you in that today with a short morning devotion. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day.